This is Coach Minister Vanessa with Broken to Eden Ministry and Life Coach Services. And welcome to the Peaceful Corner. I hope everybody has had a wonderful day today. And let's just jump into it. Okay, so I know we want to have a space. Okay, I'm going to read this to you. A space where we can grow, heal, and have honest conversations about what it really takes to experience peace. What is peace for you? Peace for me can be just reading a book, just hanging out with my husband. That's my peace. I don't no confusion. That is my peace. So tonight's truth may feel a little uncomfortable, okay? So you're not stuck, you're avoiding the conversations. I know I've done that before. Avoided conversations because you want to avoid conflict. You don't want any issues. You don't want somebody to dislike you. Okay. So, again, what do we call stuck? Are you stuck in your relationship? Stuck in your job? Let me see. Stuck in this friendship? Hey, how about just stuck in life? Yeah. Sometimes we can get stuck in a rut. And I don't want to say because we have not had those conversations because of risk, your risk of hurting somebody's feelings, the conflict that it may cause. You may lose control. I know I don't like to lose control. And sometimes I need to loosen that up a little bit. We don't want to have, cause anybody to be hurt by what we may say. And that's why sometimes we definitely have to think before we speak. Right? Because once those words come out, can't take them back. And to me, okay, you have verbal abuse and you have physical abuse. I feel sometimes, okay, in my opinion, verbal abuse can sometimes be worse because those words can stick with you there and your bruise will go away. But what someone has said, if someone said something really harsh to you, that really sticks with you. And you're like, wow, is that how that person really feels about me? So yeah, sometimes we don't want to have those conversations. So because of we don't want to offend anybody. Anybody else out there feel that way sometimes? Hi Caleb. Thank you for coming into the Peaceful Corner. Why do we avoid them? It keeps things predictable. How about that one? It keeps us from rocking the boat. Right? You don't want to cause any issues with somebody. But we have to we and when you hold that stuff in, it'll eat at you. Oh, it will eat at you. No, this isn't a therapy session. We're just having just regular conversations. Hi, my name is Coach Minister Vanessa, and we're in a peaceful corner. It's just where we can just talk about, different things that's going on in life. So no, this isn't a therapy session because I am not a licensed therapist. Okay, so why we avoid? It can create anxiety. I know for me it can. It can cause distance. How about stagnation? You feel you're stuck. Yeah, how about that? You'll feel stuck. Signs that you might be avoiding. How about this one? You rehearse conversations in your head. Problem and godless. You have Trust, not godless, sweetheart. I know who loves me, and I love the Lord. Love the Lord, and I know that He loves me. Always got to have God in our life. In my household, it's God, my husband, myself, and my kids. Then our grandkids. That's how everything runs. And God is in everything. The Holy Spirit runs everything. And the Holy Spirit should also conduct on how you would speak to somebody to stop avoiding those conversations that you need to have. Yeah. It's not, just have that one-on-one. Silence doesn't fix tension. And it's in Bible. This is Bible for you. When you have an issue with your brother, you're supposed to take you're supposed to go speak with him if you feel like they've offended you. And then if you feel as though that you have not gotten anywhere, you're supposed to bring somebody else to be that witness to the conversation. So why are we avoiding? You waiting for them to figure it out? When you are the one that might be having the issue at the time? Come on now, gotta be real. Or you keep saying, "Oh, it's fine, nothing's wrong," and they're trying to pull it out of you, but you're like, "No, everything is cool." But yet, you are having a problem. You have a problem with this person, but yet you don't want to talk about it. And those avoidances can cost you a whole lot. One, emotional charity. Create healthy boundaries, self-respect, and growth. Can't stay the same all the time. But here's the deeper truth with that. Every time we avoid a necessary conversation, you delay the version that's on the other side of it. Hi, Nat. Yeah. Why? Why avoid? We could have practical conversations instead of you always or you never. How about try, when this happened, I felt. Or what I need to move forward is. I want to improve this by. And if it's somebody whom you have a really good relationship with, it should be easy for you to talk. Yeah, don't hold anything in, because when it will eat at you. And like for myself, I avoided having a conversation with my brother. Not my middle brother. I have two older brothers. I'm the baby of the family. So I always had an issue with the way he spoke to me. And he really had hurt my feelings one time, and I cut him off. We were not talking. Plus he was in a completely different country. But I always felt that I had the time to fix it. I would have the time to talk to him. But tomorrow is not promised to anybody. And unfortunately, my brother, he passed away. And I never got to have those conversations with him. I never got to have that resolve for him. And the thing ate up at me for a very, very long time. For a very long time. Because I was avoiding it. Because I did not want the conflict, first off. I didn't want to close the the gap that we had with, even more. And I was absolutely afraid on how he would even react to the conversation because of how he used to speak to me. And I never got to have the conversation with him. So, and like I said, that was a hard, that was a real hard loss to me, because we did not have to have those conversations. So that's why the topic is, why are you avoiding why are you avoiding the conversations? And thank you, Nat. Yeah, we shouldn't avoid them. Yeah, gotta talk. And if you feel like the conversation may go left, then bring somebody else in who could kind of be that buffer. Who can be that buffer for you. If for those of you who believe in God, sometimes the breakthrough is where praying for that person is on the other side. We're praying that, okay, I want to have this conversation with my girlfriend. I want to have this conversation, with my boyfriend. I want to have this conversation with my mom, or I want to have this conversation with my husband. Oh, now, sometimes, yes, not sometimes, all the time prayer works. I'm sorry, it does. And it helps. I know it helps me. Why is it that you don't want to have that conversation? Like I said, for me, it was, I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So you can't say that you're stuck. You're not stuck. You're just being stubborn, and you don't want to talk and have the conversations that we need to have. Yeah, that's it right there in a nutshell. And when you're stubborn, my mama always used to say, a hard head does make a really soft behind. It makes a real, but I can, yes, and I wear my feelings on my sleeve. I'm a very sensitive soul. I don't know about anybody else here. And that's why I would sometimes avoid, having those hard conversations. And for myself, I'm being transparent. When I was younger, I'm not a victim, but I am a survivor of molestation when I was younger. And there was a time when I was mad at my father because he didn't beat that person up. And it wasn't until, and this happened when I was 13. Yeah, I was around that age, around 13. And I didn't have this conversation with my father until I was well in my 40s. I'll tell you, I'm 57. I look good for my age. Gonna be 58 in May. And I had the conversation with my father as I was older. And I asked him, I said, well, Dad, why didn't you beat that person up? Or why didn't you do something? And my father turned to me, he said, you know what, baby, I wanted to. He said, but if I would have put my hands on that person, they would have took me, I would wind up in jail. They would take me away from your mother and you. And this was and it's like, wow, I could have had that answer years ago. But I avoided having that conversation with him. And he was like, I'm sorry, that you didn't, have that, speak to me about that. But it was years. And like I said, I was in my 40s at that time. So, yeah. So, even though you may feel that you don't know how that person may take it, but if it's something that's that you've been holding on to for a long time, it's releasing it is wonderful. Yeah, releasing it is a wonderful, wonderful thing, because you want to be able to live in your truth. You want to be your authentic self. And there's nothing better than being and showing everybody your authentic side. Yeah, so let's stop avoiding those hard conversations. If you feel as though someone has hurt your feelings or done something to you, and 10 times out of 10 times out of 1, that person probably doesn't even know that they said something to offend you. And you walking around with your behind all up on your back and your shoulders. And that person doesn't even know it. But because you want to be stuck in your ways, you walking around with a chip on your shoulder, acting like somebody stole your candy. Come on, we got to do better. So they always say, if you know better, we do better. So have those conversations. And if you feel as though the conversation may go sideways, then bring somebody else in, someone who's like within the close circle with you guys, and talk it out. So I'm Coach Minister Vanessa with Broken to Eden Ministries and Life Coach Services. And this is the Peaceful Corner, where we can be transparent, talk about anything that you want to talk about. I can be reached at Minister Vanessa Sessoms at gmail.com, and that is MINVANESSA.L.Sessoms at gmail.com. Reach out and send me an email, for any topics that you may want us to have, so we can have those discussions here in the Peaceful Corner. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. God bless. And it's always best let's go from broken places to peaceful spaces. Love you all. Good night.